Hello there, and welcome to Doctor Who Radio Show. That's the way it goes, and I'm the king of Doctor Who podcasts. And with me are two esteemed organs of the Doctor Who fandom universe.
Michael Shannon here. How you guys doing? I'm happy to be here on the Doctor Who Radio Show with David Aston. All right.
Hello, I'm Stephen Price.
Okay, and this time it's basically not puppets of any kind, not Scottish puppets or black puppets or strangely Philadelphia sounding puppets, but in this episode we are on the edge of Essence, the last two episodes of Matt Smith's era as Doctor Who, the 50th and the Christmas special, and the big question is, it's been asked on forums and stuff, is the Master returning to Ireland? One's been filmed, the other's in the process of being filmed, I believe. But more importantly, interestingly enough, should he return in the guise of John Sims full time? Or should he be John Sims handing over to a new Master for a new Doctor? So, gentlemen, what do you think?
I think they should stay with John Sims. Whether he'll do it again, because he had so many parts he had to play in the end of time. The changes into different outfits and all this and that. So he said he won't do it again, but I think he will. I think he'll change his mind and come back at the moment. I think he'll do it one more time, and then he'll regenerate into another Master.
Yeah. What do you think, Mike?
I wouldn't mind seeing a new Master. I mean, it would be cool if he came back for the regeneration, but I don't know if he'll do it, man. I'd go with a new Master, an older Master to match wits with the new 12th Peter Capaldi. I think that would be awesome, man. I hope to God we get some good John Pertwee episodes over the next couple seasons, man. And I'd love to see the Master in it a lot.
Why do you say that then? Are you
Yes.
Are you hinting at the way John Sims portrayed the Master in his time as the Master, as opposed to Delgado?
No, I liked him. I did, but well, no, I do like the original Masters, but I think it's time for a change. That was David Tennant's Master. You know what I mean, man? Matt Smith really didn't get one at this point anyway. So if they're going to give it to Peter Capaldi, I'd go with an old guy. Maybe bring the goatee back, make him look a little menacing again. Why can't the Master be in an episode in all 12, 13 episodes of the season, like they did back in Pertwee's era? I thought that was pretty cool. They really did a good Master story arc with him. I would love it.
Well, I'm going to run you down, everyone. Not with a car or anything. I'm going to give you a rundown of the Masters so far on TV, that is. So here's a rundown of the Master. Roger Delgado, the very first classic Master, 1971 to 1973. Peter Pratt, the deadly assassin, not a Pratt for appearing in Doctor Who. Geoffrey Beevers was the Master who was Keeper of Traken, and of course then we had Anthony Ainley, who basically killed the Fourth Doctor and appeared throughout the 80s until Survival. He also did Destiny of the Doctors, which was more closer to how, oddly enough, Roger Delgado played the Master. Then there were two Masters in the 1996 TV movie for Paul McGann's Eighth Doctor. Gordon Tipple was being put to death after being put on trial by the Daleks, which is bollocks, because Daleks don't normally put you on trial, although they did Davros, which is ironic because they usually just exterminate people. And then he basically came back as a slithering CGI cock snake, and then Eric Roberts, of course, and then when the series returned, Derek Jacobi, sadly, didn't appear as long as he should have done, but he regenerated in an awesome goodbye old master, hello new master, which was John Sims, and that's the last we saw of him in the End of Time. And now I'm going to introduce the legendary Matrix Lord 212. The question is, should the master return, Joe? And if so, should he return as somebody else, a different actor?
I would like to see him return as John Sim, and finish off almost like a trilogy in a way, where he battles the Doctor and he regenerates, and I don't know if you talked about a double regeneration where the Master would regenerate and the Doctor would regenerate. So I would want to see John Sim with Matt Smith, and I do believe, going back to the 1996 movie where the Daleks had killed the Master, I think they did this out of character because they wanted to embarrass the Time Lords, and by putting this on a galactic channel, that would be warranting a response from the Time Lords, because here it is, the Time Lords are talked about throughout the universe as the greatest race, and now the Daleks basically kill them on live TV. So
well, that's what I was referring to, really. Oh dear, Mike's gone a bit quiet, but
I'm here.
Oh yeah, well, that was out of character for the Daleks. I
think they wanted to start a time war, so they just did that to embarrass them and do that on the air. So the Time Lords would have to respond. Because they have egos and they're egomaniacs. They would have to go to war.
Do you think it's possible that the events of this is just a theory, 1996 TV movie, happened sort of in between? I'm trying to think out how to say this.
I think it started the Time War.
Yeah, so 1996 TV movies during the Time War, then he meets the Eighth Doctor, then he gets reconstituted as Derek Jacobi's master by the Time Lords.
I think that the 5 minutes of the 1996 movie is like a lead-in to the Time War. I think that was the last straw that started the fuse that started the Time War. The Time Lords had to respond, the Time Lords had to act, and they went to war with the Daleks. Then it was found out through footage that of course the Doctor's a Time Lord and he battled them throughout time, and also they knew about through Davros that the Time Lords had tried to prevent the Daleks. So all that stuff added to the decision by the Daleks to murder the Master on live TV. I think that they knew from the very beginning that the Time Lords wanted to end them, and this was the start of the Time War.
Now, each master's been different. We've had sort of broken down Huss, we've had genteel, intelligent masters, like the original. We've had sort of more psychotic, Clockwork Orange master. And there's been others in different mediums, like
Is it
Big
safe
Finish.
to assume that the Master was so crazy and nuts that he wasted all his regenerations, where when he got to Robert Doug, it was the 12th incarnation, and he had one more regeneration left after that, which that's who the Doctor faced in The Deadly Assassin. So, in other words, he just went throughout the universe and just, kept dying recklessly and not really, wasting his lives. Is it that safe to assume that Robert Delgado was the 12th Master?
What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, that could be. He got handed some extra regenerations. On top of that, he stole the what was that thing called that gave him even more regeneration power? Then he went into Nessa's father's body and all that. Then he got brought back from the dead as John Sim from his, the Church of Saxon. So who knows how many? Like he could have had a buttload of regenerations we don't even know about.
Should we have a return, do you think? Just throwing this idea out for everyone and the audience. Should we have a return, perhaps, to a more clever, intelligent master than a psychotic one?
I think the next master will be, now that he won't have to constantly eat to stay alive after he regenerates, I think that he will be a more calmer master. I don't know if the drums are going to be there still in his head, so he might be a more crafty master. But I do believe that when it came to Derek Jacobi regenerating, I think that was the second time he regenerated, because it was a new cycle of regenerations. He was brought back from the Time War, and he regenerated into a child. So that was the first regeneration, and that became Derek Jacobi growing up, and then Derek Jacobi regenerated to John Sim. So that was the second incarnation of the new batch of regenerations. All the other regenerations are not like time vortex energy or whatever it was, and he was just finding ways to survive without the regular regeneration process. So technically, he should be able to regenerate, I guess, 10 more times. John Sim.
If there's this broken rule now, basically, of the 12 regenerations no longer applying, then doesn't that sort of contradict the Doctor and Master meeting? Each time the Doctor's meeting a Master who's sort of more broken down. Because I've just had a thought. You have Delgado's Doctor. Bollocks! I've just had the impression that you had Roger Delgado's Master. Then you might have Anthony Ainley's Master. Then you have the one in the 1996 TV movie. Then you have Derek Jacobi, and then you have the broken down husk. I don't know, because there's always been a suggestion that the Master and Doctor weren't necessarily, just like River Song, actually meeting in the right sort of straightforward linear, well, from their point of view type thing. Like you could have a earlier Roger Delgado meeting John Pertwee, or an earlier Anthony Ainley meeting, I don't know, meeting Sylvester McCoy's Doctor before he's perhaps met Peter Davison's Fifth Doctor or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
Because if it applies,
the only way that would make sense is if the 11 Masters would be encountered after Smith. That's the only way it would make sense. Because you definitely saw. I mean, Robert Delgado. They never really said if he was the 12th, but you got to see, the Deadly Assassin Master, and he regenerated into in a Traken episode into Anthony Ainley, and then Anthony Ainley. We don't know if that's the same Master in the 1996 movie, and then he became like Eric Roberts. So I mean, it's like, it looks like he sees them in order, but we don't know what happened to the first 11 Masters. So we could see Matt Smith versus like Master number 1, number 2, number 3.
But who would you? I'll go through each of you in turn. I'll start with Mike. Who would you say would be a good British actor to play a new, fresh, 12th Doctor Master?
Oh wow, man! Like I said, I'd like to go with an older Master now that we're getting an older Doctor to match, their wits together. Again, similar to the Third Doctor's adventures with his Master. Oh God, man! There's some guys on the Game of Thrones, man, that I can. Come on. Think the Game of Thrones and what's his name?
We had this problem before.
I know, right?
Is-
the king's the kid. You know, the young king, the kid.
Oh,
His
Joffrey. Joffrey.
His grandfather.
Oh,
think
yeah, that's Dance.
Yeah, right.
I
Yeah.
can't remember the rest
I
of
know.
Oh,
Oh, I know. I get confused.
Charles Dance. That's Charles Dance. He'd make an excellent master.
Yeah, I would I mean, recently watching that whole show, yeah, I could see him being an older master. Definitely.
I would
be
just
my
have
pick.
Moriarty. The guy that plays Moriarty, I would have him play the master as a younger master with an older doctor. I think that would work. And I would have Laura Pulver as the Ronnie. So you would have, a reunion, Sherlock reunion, where you have Moriarty and Laura Pulver on Doctor Who as the master and the Ronnie with Peter Capaldi. I think that would be awesome.
That would be cool.
Any other ideas from your British actor knowledge, Mike, at all?
Shit, man, British actor knowledge. Well, they can't do Benedict Cumberbatch.
No.
He would be awesome if he didn't.
I
get
would
so
David
damn
Warner
big.
to be the master.
Ah, that'd be good. What about you, Steve? Who would you choose from any British actor who's actually still
I'm
alive?
gonna pick Bruce Campbell.
No, he's American.
Bruce the Camp.
He's American. Cumberbatch, the guy that plays Moriarty, or even Roger Moore.
Roger Moore. He's in
Roger
his
Moore.
80s.
Bill Nighy.
Yeah, that's another good one.
They could always get Derek Jacobi back, couldn't they? That's not impossible.
I don't think so.
I thought he was brilliant in Utopia, and I'll be honest, I was rather disappointed. Well, I was glad he regenerated, because that's an awesome Doctor Who moment. Absolutely, that's historic, really. I am the Master, reborn. I thought his master was cold, bone-chilling master. Bit like Roger Delgado's master, but a bit more sort of icy. Like the master in his pure psychological form. Let's think. Who else? Let's think. An actor. Well, there's tons of actors really, but I can't think of any. I bet there's plenty of actors, British actors, but I think they should tone him down and make him, just like the first master, clever, not some idiot, not some character who's, comedy or, wanky type thing. Don't even think about it.
Yeah.
There's another actor, he's a good actor, Clive Owen.
Who?
Clive Owen.
Clive Owen? Really? You
Yeah.
think so?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
do you think Clive Owen would be good?
He's a great actor.
Yeah, but what sort of characteristics would he be able to bring to his potential portrayal of?
He'd be like a more clever master, He won't be like John Sims' master at the moment. Yeah, I think he'll make a good master.
More sort of calculating, perhaps,
Yeah.
because he's played quite a few villains in his time, and he's always got this thinking darkness. Basically, the best way to describe it, really. So, if we had let's have a vote, everyone. Basically, say a yes if you think he should be recast, or a no. Who wants to see a new master in his next appearance?
Yes.
That's one.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Yes. So that's 2 against 1 no.
Oh.
So you lose. Yeah, you get.
Like Joe said, finish off the John Sims master, and have a new one. I don't mind that.
Well, the thing about
I want to see what happens. Let's him coming back.
Hmm. Has been said though that on average, when the Master's returned as a new character, well, a different face and a different actor, he hasn't really ever been seen to regenerate. I think Utopia was the first time you actually saw him properly regenerate. I know he went.
Perhaps perhaps they'll do it like that. Perhaps they'll do it like that in series 8. You know.
Yeah. You saw the Morphets, sort of go into somebody's body and take the body over, but that wasn't strictly, regeneration like in Utopia.
Yeah.
And the similar thing happened, with Tremas being taken over, once again taking over a body. A new body at last. That sort of thing. Didn't see Roger Delgado's Master regenerating at all. Didn't even see the Master decaying into a Huskira. So Utopia is the first and only time so far where you've seen him have the same sort of Dr. Blast of Light and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, because that means you can actually play with his timeline. You can say, well, actually, he had several more encounters with the Doctor, perhaps even future Doctors.
It's true.
But the big question is, apparently, according to Stephen Moffat, there will be lots of loose ends tied up. Apparently, the whole time from the end of time, even before, is going to have some sort of connection, or the Matt Smith era. Is it possible that the Master has been hiding in the shadows, pulling a few strings ever since the end of time?
Yeah, it could be possible. It could be. He could have been there the whole time. I hope we do see a Master with Matt Smith, man. We all want to at least see him once with a Master. Come on. It's BS if you don't get a Master. BS. Stephen Price is pissed off.
Is he?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to read you something from Wikipedia, which relates to the end of time. Let's have a look. The Doctor destroys the link, and the Master attacks Rassilon in an act of revenge for a lifetime of manipulation. And this is all linked to the fact that, according to the end of time, his madness was caused by... Oh, fuck it, you fucking ass! The Doctor destroys the link, and the Master attacks Rassilon in an act of revenge for a lifetime of manipulation, disappearing along with the other Time Lords in the process. What happened to him after that is yet to be established, but he is assumed to have been killed in the Time War, because when they get sent back, it's back to the Time War itself. Now, this is related to the fact that in the end of time, apparently, from the very beginning of him leaving Gallifrey, before or around the same time as the Rani, and also the Doctor, of course, different reasons, etc., as fellow exiles, blah blah blah. Apparently, all along he had drums sent to him from the future by Rassilon himself, causing him to go mad. And in an act of revenge, and basically becoming a good guy right at the end, he sends himself and the angry Rassilon back to the Time War. So, is it possible, bizarrely enough, the Master wasn't just simply brought back, presumably after being disposed of by the 8th Doctor in the TV movie, or exterminated by the Daleks at the start of the TV movie, but he might actually be more integral to the Time War's beginnings or during. Is it possible that John Hurt might actually be bugger it. Is it possible that John Hurt's fallen Doctor might actually, in some scenes in the 50th anniversary, bump into none other than a post end of time Master who's been sent back to the Time War? Oh God, I've got a headache.
Take an aspirin.
Both of you! Right, I'll do one. What a wonderful twist that would be. He's been sent back to the Time War, ladies and gentlemen, Mike and Steve, and he bumps into John Hurt. Is he the one who's sort of influenced while he's, running away from the Crucible and the Emperor Dalek taking over the whole of Gallifrey and probably exterminating Time Lords left, right and centre? He could be bumping in to his a previous Doctor. You know what I mean.
Yeah, he could be. How amazing would that be for them to, show it? At the 50th at that. The Master. Wow. Eric Roberts.
Like, sort of cause and effect. He might be, you could have a scene where Derek Jacobi returns as the Master and he convinces the Master to Scarper, and then, something like that, a clever cameo which throws the whole bloody mess into an even bigger conundrum. And that's all the time we have for on Doctor Who Radio Show. So in essence, everyone, the general consensus is that when the Master returns, there should be a handover, just with the Doctor, of course, for a new Master, whoever that happens to be. Who knows? He might regenerate in the same episode as Matt Smith.
That could be true too.
A double regeneration. But of course, there could be any surprises in the 50th anniversary at all. We don't have any bloody clue what's going to be in it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, anybody could appear. So that was the Master. And his master plan has worked out so far. And he always returns, just like all the other villains. And Doctor Who Radio Show shall return. Until next time, I have been, and hopefully shall continue to be. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, you are. And I'm Michael Shannon.
And I'm Stephen Price.
And that's Stephen Price. Thanks for having us, bro.
Cool.
See you guys later. See you all in Disney World.